Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to yet another great edition of Topic Time with Harrison Young. I have an awesome guest with me today, but before we get to them, I should say, I'm sorry about that. I have to read the names of these great underwriters that are helping support my show. So here we go. We have Santelli's Pizza. Sawtell's Pizza in Kingston. We have Chapin Sheds in Whitman. We have Smoke and Ashes Tobacco Company in Abington. At locations in the following towns: Abington, Hanson, Hanover, Pembroke, Weymouth, and Whitman. We have Halifax Glass in Halifax. We have Plimpton Cycles in Plimpton. And we have the Moon and Back Cafe in Plimpton with Lisa and Leroy, new owners. And thank you all very much, and now we will start the show. So today we have an awesome model and actress. I've been trying to get on the show for a couple of years. We finally got her on. She's been very busy with work. This is Rachel Gordon.
Hi.
Thank you for being here today. We're going to talk about some of her projects, and we're going to go over them. And once the show is ending, we're all going to know all about Rachel. So, Rachel, thanks for coming down here and finally, hooking up with me for an episode of Topic Time.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Okay, well, let's talk about you. Specifically as a young girl model. You don't look like you're very old. You look like a millennial, give or take. How did you get into it? Did you start with acting? Did you start with modeling? Did you start with music? And
Definitely.
Go ahead. And when? What's the timeline look like for you?
Yeah, definitely. So when I was a child, I did a lot of theater, and it wasn't necessarily kind of outside the normal realm of young children who are doing plays at school and things of that nature. But I definitely felt like I had kind of this strong affinity and strong pull towards the discipline.
Okay.
And as I got older, I kind of got in the way of myself, kind of those self-conscious teenage years, and I didn't really think I would be capable of conveying emotions that I had difficulty processing at the time.
Okay.
So I kind of just let it be for a little while. And then when I was in college, I started getting into television journalism. So I started to
Quick question, where did you go to college?
Yeah, I went to Brandeis University.
Oh, Waltham, great school.
Yeah, thank you. It was a really great experience. But I was starting to get a lot into television journalism, and I found myself not only interested in kind of that nonfiction medium, but also the fiction medium as well, just kind of being around cameras and whatnot.
Okay.
And so
being in front of them and behind them, or both?
I would say both.
Good.
Yeah. So, because for instance, I would work on certain projects. I remember I worked on this one project when I was interning at CBS News in New York. And
oh yeah, you mentioned that. That's what you were doing. You were part of the CBS News team.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Let's talk about that. Let's break it down a little bit, and then talk about the projects. What did you do at CBS?
So I was a production intern on CBS Sunday Morning with Charles Osgood in New York.
Big fan of Charles Osgood. Is he still with us?
Oh yeah. I believe he still exists, but I don't think he's on the show any longer.
He's old, but I listen to him a lot. But go on.
Yeah, he's just a calming presence.
Yep.
So I did a lot of television journalism internships. I interned at Frontline. I interned at CBS News and the Schuster Institute. I worked there.
Which institute?
The Schuster Institute for Investigative Journalism.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Yeah, so I kind of felt as though my journalism actually fueled my interest in acting to an extent, because I would say the interest never went away throughout my entire life. It always existed. Every time I watched a film, I had this kind of strong, visceral feeling that I wanted to be a part of it.
Love that word, visceral.
Oh, thank you.
You are great with words.
Thank you.
Did you minor in English too at school?
I minored in journalism. I majored in international relations.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll have to talk a little about that too. But go on with CBS. So.
Oh yes. Okay. So I just remember there's this really poignant time when I was interning there over the summer.
Yep.
I was going.
How long ago was this?
This was in 2013.
Okay, because since it was around that time that I sort of discovered you on Facebook, and I said, she works for CBS. We got to get her on the show. And
Thank you.
She looks good too, and and all that. So
sweet.
But go on.
Thank you.
5 years ago.
Yeah, a long time ago. So I remember this one shoot that I was working on with one of my favorite producers, Ramon. And we were
Moon. I like it.
We were interviewing an author about a book that she was writing, and
who was interviewing who? Ramon was?
Yes, so she was interviewing an author.
Being the production, you were like the production assistant, so you worked in the control room?
So I was actually on the shoot just kind of helping with coordination.
Okay.
Yeah.
I see. All right.
And we were doing this shoot, and we were interviewing the author, and that she had created a fake trailer for her book.
Yep.
And I remember seeing the actress doing this scene, and it felt very close to me because I felt as though it was so out of reach before. I couldn't even comprehend how I would go about doing this. And then I was just thrown into this situation where I had an actress kind of right next to me who was making something that kind of seemed unattainable possible and feasible to me.
Cool.
And that was a really big moment.
I always say everything happens for a reason.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, definitely. And so I still kind of had that craving to act, and I still just kind of let it be.
Okay.
And then when I graduated college, I worked for ABC News.
Wow.
Thank you.
How did you go from, well, wait, you actually worked for them?
Yeah.
Now, were you living in New York at the time?
I was back in Boston.
Okay.
But it was actually the New York team that came to Boston to film a television show. It was a medical reality documentary type of show. So
I mean, it was a one-time deal. It wasn't a series, right?
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. So I was working for them, and
when CBS, you were in New York, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Gotcha.
And so I was working on this television show, and it felt like reality television show, and I kind of started to get disillusioned with that specific genre.
Okay.
And after that job finished, I didn't have a job. I was living at my parents' house.
Okay.
I was very sick, and I kind of was having a large existential
now,
crisis.
Right? You're feeling good today?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I was just kind of physically very ill at that point, and I was having a terrible post-college existential crisis.
Okay.
And so one day I woke up, and I just had this really, really, really strong feeling that was the time that I needed to start. And I kind of never looked back.
Start doing what? Modeling, acting?
Yes,
Okay.
yes. That was the big turning point, so to
I
speak.
understand. You said if I don't do it now, I'm never going to do it. Is
Exactly,
that it? Okay.
exactly. So if you kind of think of the hero's journey, that I was definitely at my lowest point.
Okay.
And
So you couldn't go any low, but then you knew you could just go higher, and then you
Yeah.
knew, let's launch this bad boy, right?
Yeah,
The bad girl
exactly.
in this case. Yeah.
And it was very daunting because I just had absolutely no idea how to go about this, because the business has no rhyme or reason. There's no specific steps you can take. So I started doing a lot of research about where I should get headshots and what classes I should take and what agencies existed and what casting companies there were. So I just started doing a lot of research.
Okay.
And then, yeah, thank you. And then I got my first headshots done. And I kind of was showing up to a lot of auditions with a resume that was a blank piece of paper. So I kind of had to convince people.
Well, wait a minute. You didn't have a resume?
I had no resume.
Even though, wait a minute. How could you not have a resume after you worked for CBS and ABC? That's a pretty big deal.
So the thing is,
You didn't write that down that you did that? That's pretty impressive stuff.
Thank you. So
I mean, that could be a lifetime long resume.
Oh, thank you. It just, since it's not directly related to acting, a lot of people, casting directors, they don't care. If it's
They
not,
don't care that you worked in the news department at major networks.
Right,
okay.
right, exactly.
I understand.
So I kind of had to convince people to just take a chance on me.
Okay.
And after I booked my first job, it kind of took off from
And what was that?
So that was for Mass Art. It was this really cool fashion video.
Oh, cool. My father works. My father's the one on the board.
Oh, that's awesome.
It is,
it's
yeah.
Such a cool
He was.
school.
I think he's still on it.
Yeah.
He's 83, but I think he's still on the board.
Oh, that's
cool.
that's really awesome. I just love that whole school is just focused on
it
art.
Is. I've been there. It's nice.
Yeah, it's really nice.
So this was a film project you were.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
So I was wearing these hand-sewn clothes by a student there, and she kind of created.
So you modeled for her clothes.
Yes,
Good.
yes.
Awesome.
Yeah, and it was a video, which was cool.
If
so
you
I was
have
kind
part
of
of it,
getting.
we can.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Like it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I thought that was a really cool project because I was kind of getting to experience two mediums in one, because it was kind of modeling these clothes, but there was also an acting element to it, and it had the visual medium of film.
Sure.
As opposed to just still images. So that was kind of a nice fusion to get things going, and after I booked that, it kind of slowly took off from there, and I always say with that it comes more work and more rejection and more successes.
Yeah, I know. It's funny. You think you made it to the pinnacle of the mountain, and all of a sudden something comes and shoots you down. But you get right back up and you do something else. I know. I've been there, and I'm still going. I'm still there, so I know exactly what you mean.
Yeah.
So, but go on. So you did that. So you did that thing at Mass Art.
Yeah.
That video there, and then what happened after that?
So as I slowly started building my resume, I kind of thought that the next logical step would be finding some sort of representation.
Yep.
So I ended up joining an agency, which definitely helps a lot because agencies have a
You
lot.
want to name the agency?
Sure, it's New England Models Group.
That's a great agency.
Oh, thank you.
I'm sort of, I have a little mugshot in there too.
Oh, that's awesome.
They've never called me for anything, but I know I know they're totally 100% above board and reputable.
Yeah, they've been really, really, really helpful with
Yep.
getting auditions, especially for when the larger kind of films come to Boston, auditions for small
They're
speaking
in New Hampshire,
roles.
but they're on Commercial Street in Manchester.
Yes,
I know.
yes.
I've been
So
there a
they've
couple
been really, really helpful and great in getting me auditions that I don't think I would have access to on my own.
Cool.
Yeah, so it's been really fun, and I've also created some of my own content. So I kind of do a mix of commercials and shorter films, voiceovers and whatnot.
Ever done any music of any kind?
I can't sing. I'm a terrible singer.
Really?
Yeah, I sing in
You
the
have
shower.
a pretty voice.
Oh, thank you.
I mean, you have to work it. And I always try to give advice to my guests that might help them, because the more multifaceted they are,
Yeah.
the better. I mean, who's to say you can't? Why not? You know, find somebody that you're out there now. People know who you are. See if you can find maybe a vocal coach that'll work with you. Maybe help you out. And then maybe you could do like a demo reel and submit it to something where they could maybe use you in a commercial where you sing. Because I can see, in a way, I could actually see you do. Sometimes you see a really silly commercial. I mean, you like to make people laugh, right?
Yeah, I love
figured
comedy.
you did. So I can almost see you doing some kind of a commercial, like there's a financial company. Sometimes I'm watching MTV in the morning. I think it's J.W. Wentworth, and they have a bunch of people singing on a bus. I could see you doing that. And I could hear you in my mind's ear too.
Thank you.
But you'd have to work it a little bit. It's not going to. It's just an idea. I mean, it's just something I'm throwing your way. You could tell me to mind my own business if you want. I don't think you will, but it's something you might want to look into.
Yeah.
Because there could be more opportunities for you down the line.
Definitely.
And what about, have you ever acted in a music video, even though you weren't?
I have.
Okay,
I've
talk
done
about
a few.
that, would you?
So I've done. I think the first one I did, it was super silly. It was about recycling. That was the first music videos earlier on in my career, and it was the coldest day outside, and I don't think I was.
At the time?
Yeah, it was February, and
Wow.
I didn't have.
You were on a bike in February outside?
I was kind of running around a beach talking about recycling.
On a beach?
Yeah.
In February?
Yeah.
On a bike?
Yeah.
Were you in shorts?
No.
The t-shirt? Okay,
Thankfully,
that's
no.
good.
I was wearing a fur coat.
Why don't
of
they
some
at least
sort. It
give
was
you
very
like
silly.
why don't they do, if you're gonna do a shoot like that, why wouldn't they have it in the in the warmer weather?
That's a great question.
Well, I mean, but the producer knew what he was doing. He had a reason for that.
Yeah.
And in all likelihood, if you do enough of those videos, eventually they'll have you doing warm weather stuff.
Yeah.
Well, have they? Have you ever done any like bikini shots or?
No,
nothing?
that's not super my style.
Okay.
I'm not really into posting
Skin.
scantily clad photos on Instagram or
Okay.
doing super sexy photo shoots or even scenes like that in movies. It's just not really my style.
Okay,
Yeah.
I get it.
But yeah, so that was a really fun music video that we did, and it was just hilarious because I was wearing a fur coat and talking about recycling. So the dichotomy there
Sure.
was silly. And most recently, I did a music video. It was kind of a zombie apocalypse type project for this band called One Time Mountain, and it was one of the most incredible experiences I've had working on a project. It was so much fun. The singers are so talented, and the concept was really cool, and everywhere we shot was kind of grungy and beautiful,
Okay.
and that was
Kinda
a really
like
fun
Sesame
experience.
Street.
Yes.
I get it. Okay.
Love the Cookie Monster. He's
Sure.
my favorite. Yeah, so that was another music video that I worked on recently, which was a really good experience.
Okay, so what about films and stuff? What about,
Yeah.
talk about them?
Yeah, definitely.
Done with films,
So I would say what's pretty
TV, whatever.
yeah.
Commercials.
Yeah, what's pretty illustrative of the Boston market is there are a lot of kind of corporate type commercials, and there are a lot of short indie films.
Right.
There's less like big budget films going on because that's kind of New York and LA.
That's right. Well,
Even though recently they've had a bunch.
Boston, are you on Boston Castings mailing
Yes,
list too?
yes.
Have they ever gotten you anything too?
Oh yeah,
Okay.
definitely.
What have they gotten you?
So I have done a few projects with them. It's all starts to become a blur where I book certain projects, but I did a Dunkin' Donuts commercial, which I'm pretty sure I booked through them,
Cool.
which was really fun. It was with the national hockey team, and we filmed in I think it was a Gaines Arena, and that was super fun. So we were supposed to be hockey fans with
Wow.
our coffee cups, kind of cheering them on. So that was really fun. And then I've done a bunch of indie films, which have kind of been a whole myriad of different characters
Sure.
that I've gotten to play. I did one character where I was kidnapped victim. I did another one where I was someone's kind of silly girlfriend.
Okay.
So yeah, it's
I
been
can
really
see you playing
fun.
that role.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
cool.
And I also recently did a short film where I was kind of a spirit, so to speak. I was someone's deceased mom.
So you had sci-fi, you had dark, drama, and you had
Yeah.
humor. So you got it all.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
good. Okay.
And I absolutely love doing comedy. I work.
Ever done stand-up?
I haven't done stand-up, but I love just doing short SNL type comedic skits. That's like some of my favorite
Ever
stuff
written
to
anything
do.
like that?
I have, yes. I did a parody video. Have you ever seen these 73 Questions Vogue videos before?
I've heard of it, I think, but talk about it. You will enlighten me.
Yeah, definitely. So I was always very captured by these videos because they take a lot of celebrities and models who many of whom I really appreciate their work. I think they're dynamic. I love the way that they embody characters. And then they put them in this medium where they're asking them the most boring, generic questions.
Cool.
It just nothing interesting kind of.
Sounds like a very parodial type of video.
So it's supposed to be serious. I think that the structure and the nature of it is that it doesn't kind of lend itself to have any depth. It's just it's very.
But somehow you find that amusing, which is.
So I found
I think a lot of people probably do too.
Yeah, so I thought there has to be a way to parody this because they're standing around asking some of the most talented actors in the world, so what did you eat for breakfast, or what do you keep in your bag, or what makeup do you like? And obviously it's difficult in that rapid fire situation to get into really deep, meaningful questions.
Glad you brought that up because I was going to ask you those questions. Now I'm not going to bother. Go ahead.
No, I like them too. I like a mixture.
Them too, yeah.
I like both. But it was just all one way, and they didn't really get into anything of any depth. So I said, okay, I need to figure out how I can make a parody of this. So I created this kind of very ditzy Hollywood character.
Cool. For yourself?
Yes, for myself. And then I wrote a whole script and had an interviewer asking her 73 questions, and they were just ridiculous and funny.
How many people did you have in this particular piece that you did?
Definitely. So I had.
How many people? Did you have a lot of people in this?
I had. Let's see. I had my videographer.
Okay.
I had the interviewer. I enlisted in 4 of my friends to be in the video, and then I had my dad edit the script.
Excellent. Well, your dad's good at editing, I guess.
Yeah.
It's obviously you're good at organizing things,
which
is great. I mean, that's important. I mean, and it's they're giving you a history. It's like you've done stuff in however many years you've lived, and I'm guessing it's not that many. I'm guessing 20. I'm guessing you were 20-something. That that most people would never do in a lifetime. You got so many years left, so that's really that's incredible.
Thank you. I really try and just I would just want to make the most of the time I have here and just
that's it.
Create
live every day like it's your
projects.
last.
Yeah,
but do it in a fun way.
Yeah,
Boy, that's kind of ironic, isn't it?
Definitely. So that was a really, really fun project, and it was really gratifying to see something that was just simply an idea in my head come to fruition.
As I'm sitting here, I'm wondering, does your dad work for any big TV station or
no?
Does he have his own editing company?
He is actually a physical therapist.
Okay, by trade.
Yes,
I gotcha.
yes. He just has an interest, and he's kind of the one who exposed me to really, really great film growing up, and we would always discuss it. And there would definitely be times when we would watch a film, and I would want to just look up the plot and look up how other people analyze it, and he would always encourage me to analyze it on my own.
Okay.
And he, exposed me to really, really great films, and was very. Both of my parents were really, really encouraging of my acting career, and
as they should be.
Yeah, and it was definitely kind of beautiful to have people who are just believe in you and are so supportive of you and get excited with you.
Of course,
about
especially
everything.
your own parents.
Yeah.
My parents felt that way about what I do.
Oh, what do your parents do?
They don't do anything.
Okay.
No, they don't. To be honest with you, they're kind of passive about what I do. Which I wish they were a little less passive and more, enthusiastic. But they can't not be impressed with what I've done with the show because I've been doing it for 8 years and I have made more connections and I've had more interesting people on than I never thought I would, and I've taken it to levels that I never thought I'd take it, and I'm still at it, and here we are, and present company included, obviously.
Thank you.
But
yeah, so it's really, really wonderful having their support, and they're
course.
definitely the first people I talk to when I finish a commercial or a clip or a film or something. It's really fun, and I watch
They give
it
you
with
good
them.
feedback, eh?
Yeah, yeah.
And if they
it's
there's something, if they think there's something that you need to work on, they'll tell you that too, right?
Oh yeah, yeah. My
Okay.
mom is not shy about that. If
Well, that's
I'll
good.
show her something and I'll say, "Okay, what do you think? Did you like it?" She'll be like, "It was good." She definitely won't just give me a gas up if it's not warranted.
Right.
Yeah.
And if she does, but she'll be constructively critical if she needs to be.
Yeah,
And that's good.
definitely. Yeah.
That's really cool.
Yeah, it's really great. And so my dad, I'm very protective of what I write, and I don't like to show it to people.
Okay.
And my dad is the one person who I will let edit anything because I really trust him, and I think he has an interesting and creative approach to scripts and to characters and to plots and those kind of intricacies. So he's the first person I go to if I want something to be edited.
Okay, and you got a lot of cool friends that work with you too. I've seen pictures on Facebook with you and girls that girls and guys too, I suppose, that are part of the deal that you're in too, is acting and modeling and whatnot.
Yeah, it's a strange business because I feel as though it's it's less collaborative than you would think, and I feel as though a lot of people in Boston, whenever there's a project here, everyone knows about it. So it's very, very competitive. Everyone's talking about it. Everyone's kind of for themselves, and I'm definitely fortunate that I have met a few friends who are acting friends who are very supportive of it, who are also actors
If you
themselves.
feel like giving credits, go ahead. I mean, if you want to name some people.
Yeah, definitely. So my friend Heidi and my friend Logan and my friend Christina.
Logan Raposa?
Yes.
Yeah, I know who he is, just from Facebook.
Yeah,
Okay.
he's wonderful. He's been probably the most supportive
That's good.
friend in the
Okay.
acting industry that I've met. He's a wonderful
I've never met
human being.
him, but I've seen him I've talked to him on Facebook.
Yeah,
So,
yeah,
yeah.
he's absolutely wonderful. Whenever I'm upset, he makes me feel better.
That's great.
Yeah, but
Okay.
it is a strange industry because I've definitely met a lot of people who are kind of not very genuine. So you just have to kind of be careful, I would say.
You have to be careful.
Yeah.
No, I understand.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to be careful. You can't trust just anybody.
Right.
Okay.
Well, I
hope you
everyone's
think I'm
kind
genuine
of,
based on what you're seeing here. I mean, I'm just trying to basically give you the third degree and get and extract all the information that I want to get out of you.
Yeah.
I thought I'd throw a little sinister stuff your way. So I think you thought it was funny, but okay.
Definitely.
So I'm just wondering, the job that you have, does that pertain at all to your modeling and acting?
No, not at all. So
Okay.
I work at the Massachusetts Institute of Technology in the Computer Science and Artificial Intelligence Lab,
Okay.
writing about computer science research.
Okay.
So, because that was journalism, which was kind of, along with writing, I kind of consider writing my first love, and I really, really love science. So
Okay.
that's also a nice fusion of my interests, and I've met so many incredibly brilliant people there. So that's been a really, really great experience. It's definitely difficult balancing a full-time job and then acting on the side, but I try and make it work.
Okay, I understand.
Yeah.
So basically, now eventually, what does the future look like for you? I mean, what are your goals for the future? Do you want to be able to eventually just do acting and modeling full time, or are you happy? Are you just going to let the wind take you where it blows you,
Yeah,
so to speak?
That's definitely it's interesting because I definitely feel as though I'm very much goal oriented and I have certain things that I want to accomplish. I'm writing a script and I want a feature length script and I want to turn that into a movie.
Okay.
And I want to definitely work on some of the bigger films that are coming to Boston and get a speaking role. And those are kind of more short-term goals that I have. But as far as the long term, I'm just kind of living day by day.
That's
right
good.
now.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
fine. Eventually, my thinking is based on what I've done in my experience, that eventually what you want to do will bloom to fruition. You just got to keep doing what you're doing. You got a great background.
Oh, thank you.
And you're obviously adding to it all the time.
Yeah.
And you got a lot of great people that got your back, and that's very important, especially
Yeah.
your own family, obviously.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you. And it's been also really fun. Some of the acquaintances that I've met we've become closer working on projects together
Okay.
more than once. So I worked, for instance, I met two of my friends on this, it was kind of a tourism of the state commercial for Providence. It was just kind of Providence, Rhode Island. It was
You were in that,
showcasing.
right?
Yeah,
Cool.
yeah. So that was really fun. And then a few weeks later, I worked with the same actor, Nate, on a Fidelity commercial.
Okay.
And so now we've just become close friends. So it is really nice that is one definitely plus.
Ever
of
been an
having
extra in a big
smaller-
film? I'm just wondering. Like,
Yes.
What films were
Yes.
they?
So I also I kind of am picky and choosy about extra work just because it is so exhausting and it's kind of a gamble because you definitely can't expect anything to really come out of it. It's just a fun experience and a day on set. So
I know. I've been an extra. I was an extra in 2 major films too.
Oh, awesome! Which ones?
Shutter Island and Amistad.
Oh, that's so cool. I love
Shutter Island. I was played a mental patient role I was born to play.
That's so fun.
I worked right with Scorsese.
That's
and
awesome.
You familiar with Sarah Silverman, the comedian?
Yeah.
She's my cousin.
Oh, that's awesome. I have been told I look like her before.
You're prettier than she is.
Oh, thank you.
But if I were to say she was pretty, that would be weird because she's my cousin. Well, that's cool though. You ever work with David Gear in Connecticut?
No, I haven't.
Okay, because he's a big filmmaker, and
he.
The reason I asked about him was because they just did a film called Vault in Rhode Island back.
I auditioned for that.
You did?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, if you didn't get, but there'll be plenty of other stuff
Yeah,
that you.
definitely.
Yeah.
I auditioned, I think, for this the young secretary.
Okay.
I believe. Yeah. So the extra.
It took place in 1975.
Yes.
You probably weren't even born yet.
So extra work. So I was an extra on Patriots Day. I was an MIT student.
Yep.
Which is funny since I worked there, and I was on screen for a second, so you can see me for a millisecond walking by at MIT. So that was really fun. I was an extra on Castle Rock, but my scene didn't make it into this
I understand.
season.
Cutting room floor.
Yeah. So hopefully it's in the second season, but I'm not getting my hopes up.
But just keep doing what you're doing.
Yeah.
Well, guess what? We're under 2 minutes to go.
Okay.
We made the half hour go by. What I want you to do in the condensed time we have is, or the remaining time, is to give some shouts out to people because a lot of people are going to see the show.
Sure.
Just condense them. You want to say hi to the people you just mentioned.
Sure.
That's fine, and then your family and whatnot, and then we'll wrap the show up.
Okay. Sure. Okay. So
I guess you want to look at that camera there. That's the camera with.
Which one? Just want to give a shout out to my mom, my dad, and my sister for being the most wonderful family that ever existed. All of my colleagues at MIT and all of my wonderful and amazing friends who support me and make me laugh every day.
Okay, well, I hope you had a good time with me tonight.
Thank you. That was so much fun.
Okay.
That went by so quickly.
It always does.
Yeah.
Well, with that note, we're going to wrap it up. You ready to jig your
Yes.
All right, folks.
I'm ready.
Thanks for watching another great episode of Topic Time. See you next time. Take care. Here we go.